Maybe we'll get one of that Cinnabar. Ooh, Flygon. Ground and Dragon. I love me some Groudon. I should have switched in Rose to take this. Put this to sleep. I think a Mega Drain would kill because this is Ground and Dragon, so it's neutral. It's 30 levels lower. So I don't want to hit it with that. I know Ice type would destroy it. Do we try this? I think we do. If it kills, it kills. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time since the last time, it is that time, right about that time, for your favorite Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III. You may call me ST3. And this is the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke episode 29, the first series of any kind on this channel, but not the last. And if you have been with us through all 28 episodes so far, please hit the like button down below. And as this is the first series, but not the last, with many more things to come on this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. The subscribe button, easy for me to say, and maybe even the bell to be notified. We have gone live, or not live, but posted these episodes every single day, 7 p.m. for this series. So if you are enjoying it, hit like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified. In episode 29, which went up yesterday, happy Thursday to you all, which went up Wednesday, we did have a moment of panic with a fissure from a Dugtrio. That was higher level, but thankfully for us, it didn't connect. So with that, let's take a look at the team here real quick. We have the Regigigas Brodicon to level 55 with immunity, holding our Amulet Coin, Fire Punch, Zen Headbutt, Strength, and Thunder Punch. We are marching our way toward hopefully level 60 and above. We have Omega, the Pure Power, Mewtwo, holding an Amulet Coin as well, Psychic, Psycho Cut, Ice Punch, and Amnesia. We have Willa, who dodged the fissure, our level 51 Mold Breaking Walrein, Surf Waterfall, Aurora Beam, and Body Slam. We have the OG at this point, the longest tenured team member, been with us for 11 of our 14 badges, Denny P67, our water absorbing Rhydon with the experience share, and the move Stone Edge, Hammer Arm, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. We have Danders, aka Danders 2.0, Soundproof ability on the Latias, Zen Headbutt, Dragon Breath, Fly, and Cut. And then we have Rose, our Ice Body Roserade, level 70, Giga Drain, Pedal Dance, Synthesis, and Grasp. So that is the team. The plan for today, episode 29, is to make our way south of Pewter, head towards Cinnabar Island, and see if we can't take on the 7th gym. Our hope is that we can get through gym number 7 in this episode. There's a bunch of, not a bunch, but there's a good amount of trainers on their way there. A handful of trainers in the 7th gym of its own, and a handful of encounters, such as this one, which is a Gyarados. It's level 3. It's a really great water type. Really not great flying type, because it gets the flying weakness. We're going to run. It's level 3. We're not training that up from level 3 to be on the team for the final get-go here. Not when we have Vaporeon in the back. Not when we have Cruella or Tentacruel in the back. Just don't foresee it. But yeah, there's a handful of trainers even to get to Cinnabar Island, so I think this will be a nice long episode to get us to Cinnabar. And the plan would be to battle gym number 7 in this episode. Ideally, we get ourselves to a good place there. In terms of time-wise of this episode. And then in the next episode, I think it would kind of make sense to battle gym number 8. And then we've got the legendary birds. So we might be able to get Articuno in this episode, but if we go get those encounters plus the level 70, and one of them is Mount Silver, so we can do all the stuff on Mount Silver that we can, short of actually battling Red. But up to including, going through and getting all the hidden items and all that fun stuff in tomorrow's episode. And then I think, presuming that this works out how we're hoping here, we take the weekend off and we come back Monday for the finale. That's kind of the thought process I have. take the weekend off so we can grind the team up, make sure that we have, a fighting, a puncher's chance at it. 60s, all legendaries maybe, but if we can get like 75, 80, might be a little under leveled still, but with a team of, mostly legendary Pokemon, we're half legendary right now. I think it would give us a good shot at being able to beat Red. And then we come in for the finale on Monday and do the Elite Four for the second time, and then Red, and see how well that all goes. So that's my thought process: is Cinnabar today, Gym 8, and a bunch of legendary encounters tomorrow, and then a weekend of rest and relaxation for everybody. Come back Monday for the finale. So let's see if that pans out. We might want to throw a repel up because there's a ton of grass here in the Viridian Forest. Gyarados is mad at us for running away, which we've done for a bunch of our encounters right now because they're so low level. Most of the rest of the encounters, in fact, I think all of the rest of our encounters, we can use the Super Rod for. So we should be able to get level 40s that make it a little bit more realistic and plausible to add to the team should we so choose. Back here. And our episode 29 reminder, drink your water. Reloaded between episodes. We are bulk recording today, as we mentioned in each of the previous two, mostly so that we can get ahead for our weekend as we go see a Red Sox game and go to the aquarium over the weekend, leaving Friday. So want to have everything as buttoned up as we can, and we're recording early in the week to give ourselves time in case anything goes wrong, but also give us time to edit the episodes, get them scheduled, make sure everything's good to go, and then maybe even grind up between now and the end of the week so that when we come back on Monday for the finale, like I said, we have ourselves a puncher's chance of taking down Red. It could be one of those we train up and he's got all Weedles and we're fine, and it could be one of those that we don't train up, or we do train up and he's got, all Rayquazas, and we don't know. We lost a Pokemon a couple episodes ago, so we're not out of the woods. The Nuzlocke is far from over. The Elite Four and Red are going to be no easy task, so we want to give ourselves the best possible chance. Lucky Egg. Soft Sand. We're still rooting for the Lucky Egg just to make grinding easier. Absolutely. We have not encountered one. Probably won't. Still a handful of items, so can't be super negative, but it would just make life so much easier if we had one. Drifloon is a Pokemon I adore. I think it's got a great design. I love the Ghost Flying type. Unfortunately, this Drifloon is not a friend. It is an opponent. And so we will take the opponent down with hopefully one Thunder Punch. That got really slow, but it does enough. It does enough. And yes, we have the experience share on Denny P67, mostly because we want all of our Pokemon as high level as we can. Yes, we've got some more encounters coming up in this episode. Yes, tomorrow we're going to go get at least 3, if not 4 legendaries, or try to get them. But we can't count our breath, we can't hold our breath that they're all going to be broken, that they're going to be awesome like Regigigas. We can't expect another Pure Power Mewtwo. I mean, it could happen, but we can't count on it, can't, bank on that happening. And the other thing we have to think about is, even with those legendaries, Groudon is awesome. It might be our level 70, in which case Denny P67 gets, we name that one after it and we switch out Denny P67 for Groudon. Just a stronger ground type. But Groudon is the only ground type legendary in this game. Unless I'm missing something. Unless I've forgotten something. But, Dialga is Steel and Dragon. Palkia is Water Dragon. Giratina is Ghost Dragon. Mewtwo, Psychic. Mew, Psychic. Zapdos, Electric Flying. Articuno, who's already taken out, Broticon 1. The OG Broticon, our slacking. Articuno, Ice and Flying. Moltres, Fire Flying. All of the late trio, right, is Psychic. We already have good Psychic types. Rayquaza, Flying Dragon, Kyogre, Water, Lugia, which we encountered in the last episode, Flying and Psychic, um, Ho-Oh, right? So I don't think I'm missing any. Probably all the Reggies, right? None of them are ground type. So long story longer, that's why Denny P67 is holding our experience share, because Denny P67 is probably our ground type for the rest of this run. And you want to have a ground type in case there's an electric type. And in case the electric type has Levitate or is a Flying Mon, then EP67 is also a rock type. So basically what we're saying is we're hedging our bets that 10 EP67 is going to be with this team regardless, long term. We might keep Willa, we might keep Roserade. This might be the team that we have right this second to go after this. But on the off chance that we get something in one of these encounters today or tomorrow, we want, we have no qualms about using an all legendary team on this first ever series because we want to start off with a win. That's what we're going for. As Herm Edwards once said, you play to win the game. And that's our goal. And if our best shot at winning the game is having 5 or 6 legendaries on the team, then we're going to have 5 or 6 legendaries on the team. That's just the way it's going to be for this series. In other series, we might make it more challenging. We might limit, legendaries. We might prevent legendaries entirely. I don't know. We can only catch a legendary if we catch a Pokeball or something fun like that. But not this one. This one's just a straightforward. We're going to do everything we can to win because it's series number 1. Let's start with the high note of winning, and then we can make it more challenging and difficult and interesting and fun and whatever you want to use for an adjective for series 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. The better we get, the more we learn, the better off we're going to be. So. The other reason, too, to bulk record so early in the week, I know it sounds weird to bulk record all of this. It's Tuesday behind the scenes, so happy Thursday for you, Tuesday for me, is with the likelihood that next Tuesday at the latest, we're launching a new series. I want to give myself time to prep for that as well and see if we can't play around a little bit and maybe, I think I'm like this close, not this close, but we're closer than ever before to having an actual, what am I thinking of here? Background, a format, so it's not just black screen behind the videos that you see. So that's what we're working on for that series. We tried to find a way to do it here on this series, and it's not going the way I'd like. So having a couple extra days to make sure everything is ready for Series 2 and grinding up for this, I think just makes a lot of sense all the way around. So Cranidos is a rock type. We know we have one. We have a shiny Cranidos. Well, we have the shiny Evolve form, I should say. I'm blanking totally on Rampardos. There we go. We have a shiny Rampardos, which is gorgeous. The crimson color, named Crimson because of its crimson color. We don't give our phone number out to strangers unless they have a legendary or some really max experience points type Pokemon, and even then we don't answer the phone anyway. So sorry, Mom. Answer your mom when she calls in real life, but in this game, she's just calling to tell us she bought us something new with our own money. And that'll be something, if we remember to, we'll do before we take on the Elite Four. And red is we will go to Mom. We will get all the money we can withdrawn so we can just bulk up on healing items and be as prepared as possible. Here is one. We've got 2 back-to-back encounters right here. So let's switch in Rose, who is the Pokemon we have on the team that can put some folks to sleep. Let's go get our Super Rod. Let's give ourselves a level 40, because with the level 40, they at least have a shot with some time to grind between the 8th gym and the Elite Four. And this might make sense for the team. We don't know what it's going to be. It's a Cargo. Not a great Pokemon. We have a Flareon, which is a better fire type, but not a bad Pokemon. Might be interesting to have just as a backup. You never know what's going to happen in the next couple episodes. You never know what's going to happen between the Elite. We might battle the Elite Four and get rocked, barely survive, and then have to, break out somebody from the back to go take on Red. So having Macargo isn't a bad thing. It should live a Giga Drain. I know where it won't live a Giga Drain. It's neutral because it's rock too. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't think of that. Okay, well, I know we're 30 levels higher, but I was thinking fire type. Fire, it's rock too. It's fire and rock. That's okay. Wasn't likely to make the team, but it would have been a good backup. Would have been a good backup. But that's all right. There's going to be another encounter over here we will fish for, presuming we can make it through the little bit of grass. I don't want to use a repel just for this little bit. We got through it. We're fine. All right. Let's fish here. That was a quick one. That Pokemon was ready for us. It's a Nuzleaf. Yet another grass type. I'm not even going to spend time on this. It's grass and dark. We already have Meganium in the back. We have Torterra in the back. We have Roserade on the team. We are set with grass types. It would have been good for dupes, maybe, I guess, but Crawdont. I like Crawdont a lot. Just not much of a point to add a level 6 anything. That's why we're fishing. I know we haven't really cared much about the encounters we've gotten recently, and I know that's sad, but it is what it is. All right, let us get Verticon 2 back in the front, because we will battle our way to Pallet Town. I don't know why we're still collecting Apricorns at this point. We're probably not going to use any of Kurt's balls, but no worries. That's all good. Shellos, I think, does not yet have the ground typing. Yeah. Alakazam. We already have Mewtwo with Pure Power, so there's like literally nothing Alakazam could do. I suppose the only thing Alakazam could have that could make it rival a Pure Power Mewtwo would be Wonder Guard. Because then it's only weak to Ghost and like it can only be hit by Ghost or Dark type moves. But with so many Pokemon having Dark type moves, I mean, a lot of our Pokemon have or could get Dark type moves. I mean, Willa can get Crunch. Probably will actually soon. It's not as broken as it could be, but we have Pure Power. We also have Latios, who's Psychic type, so we've got a really pretty stacked team. So I don't know that there's much out there that we could encounter that at this point would really replace anything on the team. Kyogre obviously would replace Walrein. We're not getting much better water type than that. I mean, I don't think there's any grass legendaries, but if we get like a really strong fire type, Entei maybe, we'll talk about Entei being on the team, or Raikou, Moltres, or Ho-Oh. I mean, if we encounter another Rayquaza, and we don't kill it with Rock Slide, like we did a handful of episodes ago, it might be worth considering, even though we already have a dragon. But Rayquaza is Rayquaza. Squirtle! I think of other. I mean, Groudon, we've talked about that a bunch. I think it's mostly just training up who we got and being ready to go. Being ready for whatever gets sent our way. I think that's a lot. Oh, there's one more trainer, I think, down here. Yep. And then we'll get the encounter here. It's going to be like level 3. So I can't imagine we spend a lot of time on this encounter. Again, it's the curse of HeartGold and Soul Silver that the encounter tables are such low levels in Kanto. It just doesn't make it feasible to really utilize any of them. Thankfully, though, the gyms aren't that low level. They're not as high as you're going to get when we get to red, but it's at least a little more challenging than just the wild Pokemon that we encounter. Ooh, Mega Horn. We already have Rock Slide, so I think we're going to add coverage and we're going to get rid of Stone Edge because of the PP. It's only 5 PP, but it is less accurate even than Mega Horn. But then we get a little type coverage if we need it. I mean, we just talked about Dark type moves, but um, that might be worth thinking. Oh, that was my fault. Misclicked there. Clicked a little early. We get an encounter right here, and then we go a couple steps. We get another encounter. So maybe we get one that Cinnabar. Ooh, Flygon, Ground and Dragon. I love me some Groudon. I should have switched in Rose to take this. Put this to sleep. I think a Mega Drain would kill because this is Ground and Dragon, so it's neutral. It's 30 levels lower. So I don't want to hit it with that. I know Ice type would destroy it. Excuse me. So let's just chuck an Ultra Ball. Let's see how that goes. I mean, this would definitely be something to consider. Heaven forbid something happens to Denny P67. So I do love me some Flygon. I mean, my knock on it is it doesn't learn a ground move of its own. You have to get a good ground type move on it. You can't evolve it until later, and then you miss like a good dragon. It's just We have Heart Scale, so maybe we can get something good on it if we need it. Do we try this? I think we do. If it kills, it kills. If it doesn't, even better. I mean, it's definitely stronger than a Macargo. Beautiful. That was like perfect. And it's still asleep. And we're freed from Sand Tomb. That couldn't have gone better, to be honest. It's asleep. It's in the red. Let's see if we can catch it with an Ultra Ball now. 2 shakes. 3 shakes. Boom! That worked out awesome. That was great. All right, Roserade, I see you. All right, we have ourselves a Flygon on the team, and we need a good, powerful nickname for a Flygon. So we are going to name this. That's a good, powerful nickname. I usually name it something like Gonzo. Let's name it Gonzo. Because that's typically what I would do. And I can't think of anything better right at the moment. At 21, like I said, it changes pretty quick. Let's get an encounter here. Level 40 again. Nice and quick. And it's a Lapras. Good water ice type. Good backup, heaven forbid something happens to Willa. It is a bit of a risk to go to Roserade for this because ice moves are super effective against grass. But we're 30 levels higher. We cannot hit this thing. This will definitely go down. Super effective. We can Grass Whistle. Brian won't do much because we're a grass type. So we will whistle it to sleep. We'll throw an Ultra Ball. At least this first turn. See if it's... It might be worth going into Willa and hitting it with an Ice type move or two. With a... What's it? Rory Beam? Just to weaken it down and then bring Rose back in for Grass Whistle again. Triple Jiggle. We might have gotten lucky there. We'll throw another one. Let's do it. We'll throw it till it wakes up. And if it wakes up, we'll bring in Willa. We'll weaken it a little bit. We'll come back. Put her back to sleep. Put him back to sleep. Put somebody back to sleep. 2 shakes. 3 shakes. 2 triple jiggles in a row. It stays asleep, so let's try a third. Yeah, this instantly becomes the next in line. Heaven forbid something happens to Willa. I mean, Willa's already a higher level, so we'll keep Willa on the team. Boom! 3 Pokeballs, 3 shakes each time. The third time, it stayed in. So Lapras joins the team. Now, I've always had nicknames for Lapras. It depends on how it identifies. This identifies apparently as a male, so we name it Champ. If it identified as a female, we would name it Nessie for 2 of the most famous lake monsters, because that's what I think of when I see Lapras as lake monsters. Obviously, Nessie for Loch Ness and Champ in Lake Champlain in Burlington, Vermont, Ticonderoga, New York area. If you're from the Northeast like me, I think that's the most famous, probably lake monster, sea monster in our area. Suicune should be alright with a Thunder Punch. Suicune could make a case for becoming our water type if we were to encounter that. Absolutely could. We would consider that. Obviously, Kyogre. Today's Thursday when this goes up. So happy opening day of the Major League Baseball schedule. If you are like me and you are a huge fan, I hope you have the opportunity to see your team play, at least on TV today. I plan to be watching the Red Sox today, or will have watched the Red Sox already. That's my hope, my goal. Hopefully they can open the season with a win. I don't have high expectations for the Red Sox this season. I feel like our pitching staff has a lot of big names, but they're a little bit later in their career or they're injury prone. And until I see the consistency and the production out of them, I just don't trust that they're going to make it through the whole year. I also feel like the Red Sox organization has really gotten away from keeping players. We've done well at developing players, bringing them in, but over the last several years, don't get me wrong, we had the World Series in 2018, but after the World Series in 2013, we let John Lester go, and he had a few good years left in him. I mean, he helped Chicago win their first World Series with the Cubs. But then we refused to really find something that works with Mookie Betts, and we end up trading Mookie Betts away. We don't find a long-term solution with Xander Bogaerts. We end up seeing Bogarts leaving free agency. We don't work anything out with Andrew Benintendi, who's, not necessarily to their level, but a darn good outfielder and player, and we end up shipping him off. And it's just, you get these young guys that come into the team and they're good homegrown talent and they become superstars. And the Red Sox just, yes, they signed Devers to a long term, but he's like the outlier to that. So, and then I know it just kind of feels like the infield is Rafael Devers, and that's it. Like, I know Kike is going to play, and Kike Hernandez is a good player. He's not a great player though. Like, he's good. His batting average is usually in the mid 200s. He might run into 15 home runs for you. He'll play good defense, which is nice, but he's going to end up being probably our shortstop, maybe our second baseman. Our second baseman's probably Christian Arroyo. Like, again, a solid player, a good utility guy to have in the back, but not like, I don't know. Should be Trevor Story out there, I know, but he's hurt, so. And then our first baseman, it feels like we didn't really address anything other than, we got Devers locked up, okay, good. And we went and got the Japanese player whose name I can't think of, Masataka, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to say it right if I saw it. Who had a really great World Baseball Classic. Led the WBC in RBIs, I believe it was. Had a good batting average. Like, he should be a good player. But he hasn't faced MLB pitching consistently. He hasn't played in Boston ever before, so who knows? The Boston media and fan base can easily chew a player alive and really just take a good player and make them less good because they're too worried about the off-field stuff. So I'd like to see how he holds up. I'm hopeful. It just feels like, I don't know. The team has a lot of potential, but not a lot of promise. And I feel like that's gotten away from what the Red Sox have done of late, of building up a bunch of homegrown guys and then adding big-name free agents. Seemed to be the way to go. Or like making trades to fill in gaps, like the Chris Sale trade. Like, we needed pitching, so we went and got it. Either paid for it or traded for it. Right now, I don't know I don't feel like we're filling gaps on a long-term basis either. I feel like half the team is going to be free agents in the next year or two, so what's the point? Get back here, sir, my dude. And they're really banking on rooting for the front of the jersey, which I do. I'm a Red Sox fan. I will always root for the Red Sox. I can be frustrated with them and still love them and want to root for them. I think sometimes ownership forgets that we bond with the players too. They become part of the community. They become part of society. They have their different charities. They get invested through different things. Like, you want players to be there for a long time. We want to buy jerseys. We want to buy T-shirts. Like, I have a Xander Bogaerts T-shirt. He's a San Diego Padre now. Like, and I know teams, like, players leave, and sometimes they don't want to resign. They don't want to come back, or whatever the case may be. They get offered more money somewhere else. Kudos, but we're not the Tampa Bay Rays. We're, I think, valued third behind the Yankees and the Dodgers. We're a good team. We should be a good team. I think it's one of those teams that if we finish last in the league, it wouldn't entirely surprise me, let alone our division. I don't foresee us winning the division. But if all of a sudden this team becomes a 90-win team and is a wildcard team, it wouldn't totally shock me. I mean, I'd be more surprised at that than I would be for us to lose. But we're opening against the Orioles, who have a good young core. They're building something there in Baltimore. They had a better year last year than the Red Sox did. I currently have more faith in that organization this season than I do the Red Sox. But it's a good opponent to start with because it'll be a measuring stick for us in this early series of, can we get something going early? Do we have something to build with? Do we have something to work with? And I say all that knowing that I'm going to game 2 of the season, so good. Uh, really excited about it. And baseball's my favorite sport. I know there's a lot of people who think it's boring, and I think this year less people will think that with the pitch clock. I didn't love the idea of implementing it, but having watched a lot of spring training, I don't mind it as much as I thought I would. Um, but I love baseball because it's such a good metaphor for life. You can make the same case for football, I know, and really for hockey, basketball, really any sport. You can make some kind of a case like this. But in baseball, it really is 9 players on the field at a time on defense and 1 player at bat. And when it comes to those 9 players, only one of them at any given point is really involved in a play. Really, at most, right? Maybe on a double play, you get 3 players involved at the time. But only 1 player ever has the ball at one time, right? I guess it's true in football too, because the quarterback throws to the running back and all that. But in baseball, you have to trust. And there's going to be downtime where it's easy to be in the field and you get a little distracted, you get daydreaming, you think about this or that, but you need to be in it for your team. You need to be ready when your time is called. Whereas in football, there's some movement, right? All right, I'm a lineman, so I gotta make this block so that we can get the run or we can get the pass. Or I'm the wide receiver. I need to run this route because even if they don't throw to me, at least it gets this defender over here and going that way. Whereas we need to open up the middle or open up the sideline or whatever. Running back, right? It might be I need to run this route. I need to carry the ball. Like you've all got something to do on each play. In baseball, more or less, you don't. You know, if you ground it to the second baseman, it's not like the left fielder is backing up first. Like it's all right. Well, that wasn't my time. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's a life lesson that a lot of us benefit from is we play an integral part in the bigger team. And there will be times where our number is called. We need to make the catch. We need to back up. We need to field the ground ball. We're going to get our at bats where we need to take opportunities. And I mean, batting too is in and of itself, right? So many people go up, and I'll never forget. I was living in St. Louis at the time. Matt Adams was playing really good baseball for the Cardinals. And Matt Adams, for a couple of years, was like a doubles machine. Decent average, would hit a ton of doubles. Felt like every time I got to the plate, it felt like he was coming up with a double. And at one point, they said, let's try to make you a power hitter. Let's see if we can get you home runs instead of doubles. And his average started to go down because he was going up swinging for the fences. And I have always been a big proponent of small ball, station to station baseball. One, if you have to, I think a lot of times we go up to the plate in life thinking we're going to hit the home run today, when really all we need to do is get on base. Get on base and get the next person up. Several years ago, I'm going to maybe mess this up. Josh Hamilton had 4 home runs for the Texas Rangers in one game against, I think it was the Orioles. They were all 2-run home runs. Every single one of them. Every single time, it was the same player on base. And I believe that player was Elvis Andrus. Now, we'll have to fact check that, but I know it was the same player. If it wasn't Elvis Andrus, it was some other player for the Texas Rangers. But that part gets overlooked a lot. It was the same player on base for all 4 home runs that Josh Hamilton hit. And Josh Hamilton gets the credit for the 4 home runs, and he should. That's an amazing feat. Good for him. He should get his flowers, and he did, and he has. But it should not be forgotten that Elvis Andrus, or whatever player it actually was on base for all 4 of them. He doesn't get that. He loses out on 4 RBIs if Elvis Andrus isn't on base every single time. And that's my point, is sometimes we all want to be the hero. We all want to be the one that gets the W. We want to get the game-winning bucket, the game-winning goal, the game-winning home run, whatever, the game-winning touchdown or field goal or whatever. But sometimes, I forgot that Dugong has a motor drive. Um, Sometimes what we need, what would be better is just getting a single, taking a walk, bunting to get on base, or bunting to move the runner, forward. And that's one of the reasons I love baseball. It's just such a good like metaphor for life. We all have our parts to play. We all get involved to different degrees. Some days we are the focal point. Some days we're not. Some days we're batting 400 and hitting 10 home runs. And some stretches of life we're like, all right, I can't buy a hit. And you have to, go back to the team and be like, hey, I need to pick me up or whatever it might be. So that's part of why I love baseball. I just love the imagery. I love the poetry of baseball. Uh, Always have and always will. And I think part of it too is some really important figures, especially male figures in my life, were baseball fans. My grandfather was a huge baseball fan. My stepdad was a huge, huge baseball fan. My uncle's a huge baseball fan. And while there's a lot of strong women in my life too who get a lot of the love and the support and the shout outs and all that, and rightfully so, um, there's something about like a boy and his dad or a boy and a father figure enjoying baseball together that I don't know, it's just something special for me. And I've actually was talking to my wife about this the other day. The last handful of baseball games I've been to, and it's not like I go every year, but the last two or three at least, it's been my brother and I, which has been really cool to kind of share that with him and have that kind of bond. So it's good to bond with anybody over baseball, male, female. But for me, there's just something special to have that father figure type thing. We have an executor in the PC, I'm pretty sure. So we're not going to worry too much about that. But that like parental bond kind of thing just really makes it even better. I'm 99% sure we have an executor, so we're going to move down a little bit and fish over here, see if we can get something other than an execute. Took a little bit longer down on the side of the island, but let's execute again. So we're going to run. We're going to run because we got a bunch of trainers still to face. We still haven't even got to the gym yet. And we want to do that in this episode so that the next episode is, as we discussed, the 8th gym and a couple of legendary encounters, Mount Moon, all that fun stuff. Now, I didn't switch back in Brodicon, but that's okay because we are super effective with Roserade. It might make sense to get through all these trainers on the way to the gym and then battle the gym in the next episode with you gyms. 7 and 8. Not so much that little stretch on baseball. Dread my voice out. But then do Gym 7, 8, all those encounters. That might make sense. Mount Moon. I mean, Mount Moon isn't hard. There's a couple encounters there, but there's no trainers. Really, once we get this done with Gym number 7, we're trainerless. I still haven't put Protocon in front. Let's see if we're stronger. I know this is stupid because fire is super effective, but we're 24 levels higher. It shouldn't kill us. That was our Pokemon that could put other Pokemon to sleep. That's going to make all of the legendary encounters that much harder. I cannot believe a Fire Punch. Even with the crit, 24 levels higher? That was also our. We're definitely going to have to grind before the Elite Four. That's our second. That was our second level 70. Wow. I cannot believe that just happened. I mean, my fault. It's all my fault, right? I could have had Brodicon in the front. We wouldn't have had to worry. I could have switched out. We just got an encounter before we could get to the person. Um, I could have switched out once we saw Magmar come in. I really did not think that it could one-shot us. It might. It might have huge power. Might have pure power. We have a Magby. I don't envision us. I'm saying this, but it might be worth. I don't remember what Magby's in. 24 maybe. Maybe it's worth evolving Magby and seeing if Magmar is something. If we're training up for the. If we're training up for Red and the Elite Four, maybe Magby has to be part of that training. Meganium doesn't learn Sleep Powder without a TM. I don't think we have anything on the team that naturally does. I mean, because I wanted Thunder Punch. This won't kill. Trying to think, maybe we can hard scale something to one that's level 40 something for most of the level 70 legendary is going to be the one that's the hardest. That's why we got Roserade up to level 70 was so we could have because I already had Grass Whistle. I think we had another Pokemon. Oh, we have Victory Bell and Blossom, but they're like level 40 something and 50 something. If one of them can learn it, it might be worth throwing them on the team next episode just to go get 3 of the 4 legendaries. The level 70, I mean, if we lose Victory Bell or Blossom or whatever, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I think that's what we're going to do. We got, I think, 2 or 3 more trainers after this one. So I think what we'll do is get to where we can face the gym to start off the next episode. And then we can get our gym, the Articuno encounter. We go battle gym number 8, and then we can go get Zapdos. We can go get the Moltres and do the Mount Moon. And then we can go get Mewtwo. I think that's what we're going to do. And then we'll have a weekend off. We're going to take 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday. People can enjoy. I'll be away for the weekend. It'll be good. We can train up between Friday's the recording for Friday and Monday. We will record the finale on Monday and then post it Monday night. Maybe we'll premiere it. Maybe we'll premiere it. I doubt it. I doubt it. We're a young enough channel. It's not like we're going to have a ton of. We don't have a ton of subscribers yet. I'm thankful to every single one of you who has subscribed, and I hope you are enjoying it. We don't have a ton. Maybe not enough yet to do a premiere, but that's our game plan, at least, is to get to the gym today, get through the gym tomorrow. I think that makes a ton of sense. I think that makes a ton of sense. We got one more trainer we can battle here. Then we'll go back, we'll heal. It's already 49 minutes in, so we'll be about a 50-minute episode. 53, 54 when you add in like intros and all that fun stuff. Have probably about the same amount tomorrow, 45, 50 minutes, somewhere in that range. And then Monday, Elite Four and Red. This seems like a underwhelming fight to end on if it's just Azurill, but such is the case. We'll take underwhelming after we've lost yet another Pokemon in this recording session. We've lost 2. We lost Luca a couple episodes ago. We just barely dodged losing Willa to a fissure. Thank goodness the fissure missed last episode, but then our Sleepy Time Pokemon gets beaten here. Again, that was all my fault. We probably could have avoided that relatively easily, but such is the case. So let's go find Roserade. Bring Roserade over here to the Death Box. And I think who's stronger? We'll throw Blossom on because she's stronger, and we'll go Heart Scale it between episodes just to see if it can learn Sleep Powder or something like that. And in tomorrow's episode, we'll start with a team recap, and you'll see if it does or if we had to switch out Victory Bell or something like that. So we'll make it work. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, until next time.